Oh, hi. Thank you for coming back to That's So Nova. If it's your first time here, thank you. If you're a returning subscriber, I'm glad you're back. Today we're going to be doing a first designer to this channel, Stitches by Christy. I met Christy at Wizardly Stitchery this year and last year, and she is an incredibly sweet and kind person, and she's talented. She is a pattern designer and she makes gorgeous bags. So I asked her if I can sew up and make a tutorial for the Zion zip up, and she said by all means go for it. So that's what we're going to be making today. She has pattern pieces as well as she has cut out instructions if you're like, hey, I don't want to you know, print out the pattern pieces. She does have it where you can, cut it up, measure and cut it. And she does have pattern pieces for the people who are like, hey, measuring's not my strong suit. Please give me the pattern pieces. So all the cut chart is on page 6. And she gives you kind of a bag anatomy on page 7. I always love the bag anatomy because then you can picture what kind of fabrics you want to do. Okay, and then she goes over tips and suggestions for interfacing. Everyone has different interfacing tips. There's no wrong or right way. So what you like for yours may be not what your friend likes for theirs. What's not good for the goose is not good for the gander. Just pick what makes you happy. I'm a person that believes that sometimes less is more. I am not a person that likes an overly stiff interfacing because I make bags for people that I know most likely are going to overstuff their bags, and I'm a firm believer that if you have a very stiff material, it will wrinkle and crinkle, and those wrinkles and crinkles will not be able to get out, and it will not make the bag age well. So I like a little bit more soft and supple, but that's just me. Some people like something that's very super structured, and that's what they are acquiring. That's what they're going for. Everyone has their own personal preference. So throughout this pattern, our seam allowance is going to be 1/4 of an inch, and our top stitching is going to be 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to start by making the front zip pocket. And we're going to need there's 2 zippers, one for the front zip and then one for the very top. So we're going to do the one for the front. And the one with the front also has zipper ends. I decided to do two exterior and 2 lining. You can do 2 exterior and make sure you have the correct zip. The one for the top is about a 1/2 inch longer than the one for the bottom, for the front pocket. I mean, the front pocket is shorter than the top by a 1/2 inch. And how I kept them apart is I just connect, when I cut them out, I put the zip tabs to the correct piece, and it just made my life a whole lot easier. So we're doing this part right here. This zipper right here. And then this is the one that's a little bit longer. This bag is super cute. You have a nice roomy compartment in there, and we have another one here. This is perfect for gift giving, for some sewing, to make some batch sewing, possibly for a craft fair, or just to make one for yourself because they're really cute, to show off some really nice hardware. Okay, so again, our seam allowance is 1/4 of an inch. Back stitch at the beginning and the end. I always like to back stitch on my zipper too, like the coil part. Okay. And then we're going to top stitch down at 1/8 of an inch. I just like to bring my pieces right bottom up right against each other. And then we're going to need to find our centers. So I'm just going to find my centers by clipping. I'm going to find the seams that we created. And then I'm going to clip. And then I'm going to grab a silver pen and just mark within the seam allowance a little dash. And then I'm going to grab the front bottom. And then you can either use double-sided tape and or you can use clips, your choice. I'm using double-sided tape, 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to place this down, finding my centers. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my right pocket lining. The pocket lining, you want to make sure you have the long edge. This is where I'm going to grab my clips. Now, you have to pay attention because you do have a zipper that if you have like a bulkier zipper like mine, you just have to pay attention when you have to move things around. We're going to sew at a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Make sure you back stitch to lock in your stitches. I'm going to stop right here in the needle down position, and I'm just going to go under and just move my zipper pull all the way down, and now continue to sew. Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn to page 12, and we're going to push the lining away from the bottom. We're going to just kind of fingerprint, flip the bottom and the lining away from the top zipper, and then we're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch. So just make sure that it doesn't sink in, because sometimes the lining, the top, or the lining or the exterior wants to sink in. And we're going to top stitch it down at 1/8 of an inch. And we just want to make sure it doesn't. Okay, and we backstitch. Okay, we're going to take this and we're just going to fold it up and kind of just fling the clips everywhere. Just make sure you line it up nice. So I like to clip it where it's lined up first and then just clip it. And while I'm doing that, while I'm clipping it, I'm just going to get the top and just match the notch for the top edge, and just kind of clip it there too. I mean, you can baste the zipper in place, most definitely, but if your machine has a tendency of sinking in, and this might be a good resolution to just sandwich everything together. All right. So I'm sandwiching everything together. I'm starting off with 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to back stitch. I'm just going to move this zipper going forward just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to stop with the needle down and then move it back to over there. And you're going to back stitch only where your top is, the top piece, because your tabs are longer than your piece. So we're just going to finger press this. Okay. So we're moving on over to page 13, if I could flip the page. And we're going to flip the top piece up, and we're going to top stitch it. One-eighth of an inch. All right, as you can see, we have some overage. So we're going to start taking care of that. Now, we're going to baste and trim. So what we need to do is kind of just baste down this side. I'm just going to connect the lines for me to baste. So we're just going to baste down this side at 1/8 of an inch. And then any extra, I'm just going to trim off. Okay. You're just basically kind of just trimming off the little wing. Everything else should line up pretty nice. If you sewed it correctly, but let's say you have a little extra just floating out, it's okay. You could just trim it. As long as everything else is caught up in the stitches, you'll be fine. See? Nice and trim. So the back is all, well, the back should be covered on that one, but it did not get covered. Hold on. Okay, it got it now. It got it now. Let's see. It's all clean inside. Everything's nice and trimmed up. All right, so now we're going to work on the construction of the zipper. We're going to take our zipper pull. Going to cinch our zipper pull, and we're going to put our zipper pull on. Use your zipper jig, fork, a thingamabobber, whatever you have to do to get the zipper on. I like to make sure there's nothing in it. Sometimes during shipping, sometimes there could be like different, like hay or just different things that could be in it, and that could prevent your zipper not coming on all the way. But I like to feed my zipper teeth in evenly, and I kind of just like look directly inside here to see if they're being fed evenly. And then once they are, I kind of just push down, and if this tooth is going in a little bit longer and faster than the left hand one, then I'll just kind of backtrack and see how it's going in clean. I just kind of just push and it's on. So from here, we are going to now take this to the machine. We have our tab topper, and we're going to clip this on, and we're going to sew our 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Back section at the beginning and the end. So what we do when we have it like this, now we're going to flip it. We're going to see the back side of the zipper tape. We're going to fold this right here. We're supposed to take the back side of our zipper tab. We need to fold it down so it meets the zipper tape. So these two pieces touch. Okay? And then fold it over. So we're folding it onto itself and then folding over so it covers the previous stitching. So fold it onto itself so it's touching the raw edges of the tape, and then fold it over to cover the previous stitching. So let me clip this, and then we're going to take it over to the machine and sew 1/8 of an inch line of stitching. Back stitch at the beginning and end. And make sure you're doing this where the zipper is pulling away. Do not have it going towards it. If you did that, you need to unpick that right away. And remember, this part has to be open because your zipper needs to be closing away from it. Okay? Don't ask me how I know, but I know. So it is all clean. Nice finish. That's really cute. I like that. So this is what we do next. We're going to bend these. So everyone has a different way of doing this, but I think this is like the universal one right now. We're going to separate this about 1 inch or 2. You're going to take one side with the coils. Either side, doesn't matter, right or left. You're going to take the coils and you're going to make it bend at a 90-degree angle. So it's going to go from one side. It's going to kiss the one raw edge. So like this. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this without my fat fingers getting in the way. It's going to make a triangle. Okay. Once it makes this triangle, you're going to take it and fold it onto itself. So fold over and then take this triangle and bend it under to touch the wrong sides. Once you have that, stick a pin immediately in it. And you have a perfect round corner. Now, what's important here is the reason why is that you want to make sure these folds match up, and the easiest way to make sure that they match up is if you fold these zipper teeth to match the raw edges, like raw edge meets raw edge, like so make the raw edge meet the zipper teeth, so that way it can be the most perfect match you can get. If you go out of the way and be like, oh, I'm going to go this way and then bring this back, your zipper teeth won't match. So if you can go and try to just make it as cleanest as you possibly can and try to make it match, your life will be hell of it easier. Yes, it is a round corner, but now you have one that is a 1/2 inch longer than the other. So take your zipper teeth, fold it over, make a triangle, take this triangle and bend it back onto itself. And stick a pin in it. Now, once you have this, take it to your sewing machine. Sew a stitch down here, a couple stitches, or you just sew a stitch in here. I personally like to do a stitch down here because you're not going to hit the pins and it'll stay that way. Now, there is other people that like to hit it with some fire. I have done that and accidentally burned my nails. I'm not going to keep it real with you, but I'm a person that trips over my shadow. So take that with a grain of salt. Okay. This is what's needed to make this top. And try to make these as even as possible. If they look like they're not even, chances are they're not. So however they look side by side is how they're going to look when they're finished. So there's no magic trick to fix it once they're installed. So make them look as even as possible now. So let's take it over to the sewing machine and get them sewn. I like to buy every year a set of magic pins because you can technically sew over those. But I like to buy a couple of those just for this process because in case I don't want to pin like 1/8 of an inch away, or I want to the pin needs to be a little bit closer. Those pins are amazing. They are on the more pricey side, like regular pins, like the quilting pins. They cost like $4.99 or whatever. Those magic pins cost like $17. So you see what I'm saying? Like I stitched right through here. Focus camera. I stitched right through here and I placed my zipper here. So my machine never touched the pin. So that's what I'm saying. You pin so that it's not close to the machine. So a lot of people, when they see me do this, they're like, you're sewing over your pin. And no, I'm not. So I'm sewing like 1/8 of an inch and my pen is at 1/4 of an inch. I'm not even on all the layers, but I'm pinning through to hold it. So that's how you do it. And now you have 2 perfectly good turns ready for the next step. Let's get ready for the next step. So we're going to now grab our main piece and we're going to find our centers. Centers is the name of the game. Whenever I find my centers, I like to get like a big binder clip or a chip bag clip. My kids use these to keep their chip bags fresh, and I'm frantically looking for them, and they'll be in the kitchen, like all my like pretty pink, purple ones and all that. I need to have like cute ones that have like sewing names on it because they'll just go MIA. And I'm going to put some double-sided tape here. I'm going to find my centers. So I'm going to get this big clip. And this part's important because this zipper is about a 1/2 inch smaller on both sides for a reason. And this is a great beginner bag because she teaches you how to make sure your zippers are in the right position. So we're putting our zipper face down, and you can tell the pull is going the right direction. It's going towards the left because this pull is going towards the left. Now, if you don't have double-sided tape, do not fret. You can just clip and baste this on at 1/8 of an inch. If your machine's like, how dare you try to give me double-sided tape, that's okay. It's okay. All right. So we're going to grab one of our lining pieces. And we're going to sew this together at 1/4 of an inch. Back stitch at the beginning and the end. And we're close to the zipper, so I'm going to stop. Put this away. Move the zipper. Okay. All right, so on this next part, let's pay attention to it because this is, the top stitching is important. So on the next step, we're going to press the exterior piece away from the zipper. Stop. We're going to press the exterior away from the zipper and we're going to we're going to top stitch only the exterior. Press the lining so it's out of the way, but press the exterior away from the zipper. So this goes completely out of the way, and we're only pressing the exterior piece away from the zipper. One-eighth of an inch. And we're going to just repeat this to the other side. So we have the full panel here. We have the double-sided tape. And this is a great place also if you have like cool Halloween stuff or special tags. This is a great place to put it. And we're going to make those center marks meet. All right. And then we're going to I'm going to put my needle down because I'm getting close to the zipper. Okay, we're going to press the exterior away, and the lining is right up here. So this is the lining to the main pocket. This is the other one. We're going to finger press, and then we're going to top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. Make sure you back stitch. This is very interesting material. I don't know what quite it is. It feels like a weirder waterproof canvas. I can't explain it. It's interesting material. I forgot where I got it from, but I don't know what to categorize this material as. All right, so we're going to start putting the construction together on this. I'm going to close this. We're going to put right sides together. Now, the most important part to this bag is this. You want to match up these seams because they're going to be seen. This is where I don't believe in staples, but if you're going to staple, this is where you're going to staple. So because I don't believe in staples, I'm going to put the strongest clip I got because I don't want this to shift. I want these seams to kiss and become one and become best friends forever, and they're never going to leave each other. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I want these seams to be BFFs. They get tattoos. They sing best friend songs together. Like every time they go out, everyone's like, oh my God, shut up. You guys sing the same songs. You can put double-sided tape in that area too. And then this is where I start clipping all the other stuff. Once I get that piece together, I'll just start clipping. I feel like that's the most important trait. And then you need to have an opening that is down here. So you can make a marking if you wish, like have a I'm going to make a marking that's 1.5 inches on each side, and then that will be my opening. All right, so our seam allowance is 1/4 of an inch. I'm just checking on those seams. You just want to make sure that everything just is pressed out enough. All right. I'm going to start with this longer seam. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it over to here. You can use as many or as few clips as possible. Since it's not a very big bag, I feel like it's a little bit easier to manipulate, but sometimes those are the ones that are an illusion. You feel like you have everything underneath control and all of a sudden it's chaos and mayhem. And now I'm going to just bring this over and stop at the 1.5 inch and do the same thing. Go over to the 1.5 inch mark. Back stitch. All right. Now we're going to box each corner. All right, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to unzip so that way I can box. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to butterfly the seams open. And I'm just going to clip the seams so they lay nice and flat on top of each other, and I'm going to box them. You're just trying to Make sure you box them as even, that they're not coming out like an awkward shape. Just getting them. And it's okay to get, like, if something doesn't look right, take your time and do it again. Because you rather have it, like, mess up while you're trying to box it than sew it because out of frustration and do it wrong, you know? Okay. And then we're going to do these, and then we're going to birth it and get this all ready for use. I love this bag because it comes together so quickly. I think it's such a great thing to give as gifts. I'm going to make a couple for the holidays for family members and just maybe for myself when I travel too, because I like how the pockets are. And I think I might put some elastic in the main compartment for like essential oils or like hair products when I'm putting, you know, like the sample size in for TSA. Like putting some like elastic, like, you know, you only put 3 ounces. So what if for the sample sizes, I put like a little elastic loops, so everything sits nice and pretty and not like float, like, you know, going around, moving around. For the lining, I'm doing one seam one way and the other seam the other. I only butterfly usually the exterior. I don't really butterfly the interior. I don't know why. Maybe because like I feel like you're never gonna look at the bottom of the interior really, so we're gonna birth this. And you don't have to do waterproof canvas. I did waterproof canvas because I wanted, if someone spills, like, you know, their essential oils or products they have before TSA, your bag explodes. If you travel a lot, we all been there, where like your shampoo just decides to explode on the plane for no good reason. Then it's easy to clean up. But you can also do ripstop or some nylon of some choice. Okay, so before I close up this hole, I'm going to poke out the corners in here. I do this so that way when I pop it inside, it can line up nicely. Then I'm going to bring this over to the machine, and it'll be cute to put a tag in here too. And just do 1/8 of an inch, or if you're good with, if you don't mind hand sewing and you like a little projects to while you're watching TV or whatever, hand sewing like with clear needle and thread would be like awesome because you won't even see it. Okay. And to get this area stretched out, I like to go back and forth with it. Like I pull down the lining. I know that sounds weird, but it works usually every time when I go back and forth. And I don't know if other people do this, but I like to sometimes use the seam roller. Just to get it nice and crisp. If it's cotton, use that iron. But if it's like something like a mystery fabric that you can't, then a seam roller might be good for you. Oh, this is too cute. So you have your cute little Mickey Mouse pulls, and you're about to run amok with this adorable Zion. Oh my god, I love this pattern so much. It comes together so cute. You have, this is really cute. You have a big pocket that you can put a lot of stuff in. Like you can, this is a lot. Then you can have a separate compartment to put like, I don't know, more delicate stuff. Like if you have eye mask or whatnot. And then it just comes together really cute. You can put your favorite fabrics in here. And I don't know, I love this. All right, guys, this is the first pattern that we did, Stitches by Christy. If you have any questions about Zion, please leave them down below. If you go on her website and you're like, oh, I want to do another pattern by her, what pattern would you like to see? I want to know, what kind of fabric would you use when you're making this bag? So if you can comment, like, share, if you think is worthy, it really does help the channel. And I heard there's these things called hype buttons or hype coins. If you can, you know, hype me up, I would appreciate it too. So I will leave you with that, and I hope everyone has a really good day until the next time I see you. Bye.